Why would I trust you?
Promise!
I promise!
Even when you see the horn?
Horn!
Promise!
Promise, I will not break. Oh.
After diving into the exciting world of Nimona, it's time to uncover everything we know about the much-needed sequel, Nimona 2, set to be released in 2025. So get ready to step back into this enchanting universe and discover what lies ahead for our beloved characters. The big question is, will there be Nimona 2? Well, we're still waiting for Netflix to tell the future of this masterpiece, but based on the film's success, popularity, and critical acclaim, it looks like Nimona will be given the sequel treatment. Nimona was released on June 30th, and it quickly received a big number of positive reviews. Fans loved the movie so much that conversations about a sequel appeared the same day of the film's release, and those who have watched the flick know that Nimona holds great potential for continuation. Maybe a prequel that will focus on the titular character's origins. The animated science fantasy action-adventure film explored different themes such as self-acceptance, fear, and the impact of fear on our beliefs. Directed by the amazingly talented Nick Bruno and Troy, a lot of viewers agree that Nimona is a subtle LGBTQ+ acceptance film. For those not familiar, this is a film adaptation of the 2015 graphic novel of the same name by N.D. Stevenson, first published on Tumblr. With its beautiful and colorful design, the plot focuses on several characters, including Ballister Boldheart, portrayed by Riz Ahmed, a former knight. Then there's his love interest, Ambrosius Goldenloin, voiced by Eugene Lee Yang. The titular character Nimona, a very brave teen with shape-shifting abilities, is portrayed by Chloe Grace Moretz. Together, these characters embark on a wild adventure, trying to clear Ballister's name and find the true wrongdoer. So, will there be a sequel? What could happen in a potential follow-up? Do we have some theories yet? Is the entire cast on board for Nimona 2? Let's find out, shall we? Oh boy, the bumpy road this film had to go through is really unbelievable. But the wait for it was worth it because the project is definitely one of the best animated films to come out in 2023. And there was a really big competition this year. Nimona was canceled back in 2020, and Collider first reported in March 2021 that Chloe Grace Moretz and Riz would be the two actors bringing the lead characters to life. Riz has a lot of roles under his belt for which he's received a lot of praise and even became an Academy Award winner for his short film The Long Goodbye, and was nominated for his work in The Sound of Metal. He also appeared in Rogue One and Venom. Chloe became popular following her performance in the Kick-Ass franchise. She's also appeared in Let Me In, Mother Android, and the Amazon Prime series The Peripheral. When news about the film being canceled was first announced, people, especially fans of the graphic novel, were quite disappointed, and luckily Netflix and Annapurna saved the day by purchasing the rights to the project. Shortly after, the cast was revealed. As mentioned before, Chloe's going to be playing the titular character Nimona, while Riz plays Ballister Boldheart, the knight wrongfully accused of a crime he didn't do. If a sequel happens, we expect to see all of the OG cast members, as they were definitely one of the most prominent features in the movie. Hopefully, they'll be on board for Nimona 2. We also expect to hear that Nick and Troy are interested in Nimona 2. In February 2017, it was reported that the film will be directed by Patrick Osborne. Osborne is known for his work on the short film Feast. However, in 2020, it was announced that he departed the project, and the film was left with no one at the director's chair, which is why Nimona was canceled. When Netflix purchased the rights to the movie, the new directors were revealed: Nick and Troy, who previously directed the Blue Sky feature Spies in Disguise, and they started working on Nimona and eventually created one of the best animated films in the entire history of cinema. These two people are the ones we should send thank you cards to for creating and not giving up on Nimona, even though they had to fight for it to happen. Hopefully, they will keep the same enthusiasm for the potential Nimona 2. It was originally in the works at Blue Sky Studios. The film was canceled after 21st Century Fox, Blue Sky's parent company, was acquired by Walt Disney. Apparently, the reason why Nimona was initially canceled was because there were scenes with the same-sex kiss. Annapurna Pictures then jumped in and hired Nick and Troy to direct the movie before contacting Netflix. It's still a bit too early to know whether the creators had a sequel in mind while working on the first installment. Stevenson hasn't written a sequel to this novel yet, But, as mentioned, there is a really great potential for a follow-up. The story could go in any direction, and it would still make sense. So it looks like we're gonna have to wait for Stevenson to write a sequel to the graphic novel, which could take a couple of years, and then Netflix could work on a screenplay adaptation of that novel. As for the directions in which the sequel could go, the ending in the first installment basically planted seeds for the plot of the potential sequel. In the film, Ballister finds out that the director of the Institute, voiced by Francis Conroy, set him up. Ballister was meant to be the first knight of more shared origin in the Institute of 1,000 years, as he was recruited by the Queen herself. The director then came up with a plan to destroy the Queen and blame Ballister for her death. Everything was going according to plan, but there was one thing the director couldn't predict: the return of the monster from the kingdom's mythology. This monster is Nimona. Before we get into more details, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. By doing so, you'll be the first to know about all things Nimona and never miss any updates or exciting news about the sequel. Make sure you leave a comment and keep the convo going. Near the end, we discover that Nimona and Galorth, the knight who built a wall around the kingdom and founded the Institute, were friends a long time ago. Initially, Galorth was impressed by the shapeshifter's ability of Nimona, and they both accepted each other. But one day, a man saw Galorth with Nimona, this time shapeshifted into a bear, and got scared for the safety of Galorth. This is when the man called the villagers to help save Galorth and attack the monster. Nimona quickly turned into a human, but they got even more terrified and threw a torch at her. The torch burned the entire village, an event that prompted Galorth to pick up a wooden sword and point it at Nimona, telling her to go back to where she came from. Because of Ballister's betrayal, Nimona transforms into a monster and attempts to fall onto the sword of a giant Galorth statue by the end of the movie. Ballister goes after her, stopping the terrible event while asking for forgiveness. She then transforms into a phoenix and stops an attack by the director, who tried to use the cannon at Nimona, knowing that this would end up with hundreds of citizens dead. Shortly after, Ambrosius and Ballister reunite, and the end implies that Nimona is in fact alive. The potential sequel could introduce several new characters. It could also include the characters that are introduced in the novel but not the film. Ballister and Nimona could embark on a brand new adventure. What do you guys think is the best sequel idea? If a sequel gets a green light soon, we expect to see the project sometime in 2025 at the earliest. Do you guys think Nimona deserves to go beyond its first installment? Let us know. That concludes our breakdown of everything we know about Nimona 2. We hope this sneak peek into the upcoming sequel has left you eager for more. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching.